inside our call, and I suppose that we will wait for some another colleagues. As I wrote in our chat, the first team will be Spotify, and on the opponent side will be Tinkoff and Skillbox. Spotify team, if someone of this team is here, please share your screen and prepare your presentation, and we will wait for 2-3 minutes for another team members, because then it's not enough.
And hear me?
We can see it, yes.
Okay. So today we are presenting STP analysis for Spotify company. The segmentation strategy of Spotify has several levels. First of all, music streaming services usually apply to any people. Marketing campaigns as well as strategies for development of Spotify try to be as inclusive as it possible. If we talk about geographic segmentation, Spotify has an individual offer for each country that is formed based on data about the social economic situations. Also, they try to focus on local artists and taste specifications. Such information is available for Spotify thanks to their data observation algorithms, and they are connected also with content personalization. The segmentation is in pricing strategies, and recommendations make them more compatible with local services, and at the same time it gives them an advantage over the local global services. So when we talk about social demographic segmentation of Spotify, it can be illustrated by a variety of their subscription offer. They distinguish such group as couples, families, that.
Svetlana, excuse me, Mr. Bukowsky, could you please let one student to join this channel? He
Yeah, why not?
uses a new account, so.
But where can I find him?
It's strange. He has.
I don't have any information about his access. What's his name?
Just a second. Тихонов Владимир Сергеевич. Do you see him?
No, there isn't such student inside this team. He need to contact me in my email, and I will send him the link. Please, could you ask him, because there isn't such member inside, not only this call, inside this team. If you could see the list, there isn't the student here.
Okay, thank you. Svetlana, sorry, one more time.
Yeah, please ask him to write me on my mail and send him the link, and he will be able to add to this call. And we should go further. Svetlana, yeah, welcome.
So the social demographic segmentation of Spotify can be illustrated through their subscription offer. They distinguish such group as individuals, couples, families, and families that include less than 7 people or members, and students. Encouraging specifically students as audience can be explained by several reasons. Firstly, is like long-term strategy. Student would be attracted by low price, would subscribe, create personal library playlist after graduation, and after graduation, when their discount will be deactivated, they, with high probability, wouldn't be ready to cancel their subscription and lose everything that they created and this experience that they had. So also, young audience is an active audience. They stream, share, and create communities. They spread information about the platform and events that created by this platform. And to apply to older generations, they also try to be open for them through organization, more different campaigns with more mature brands, their campaign with Mercedes and their special advertisement with TV shows. And also they may apply to them like such social demographic group as millennials through their new addition to their interface, to their like whole products as podcasts. So if we talk about target psychographic segmentation, we should say that it expressed through personalized recommendation, generous preferences, and adjustments to trends in their advertisement that are interested for different groups of people. And targeting, Spotify tried to target different groups of audience through their new products or addition to their products as their podcast service or their service with PlayStation for gamers and so on. When we talk about process and perception map for Spotify, we should highlight two factors. Is personalization. Spotify is known for its personalization of content and price. When we talk about average price on the markets, it's about $10 per month, but it's difficult to speak about music streaming services, global music streaming services, in terms of such form of subscription price, because many of them, as Apple Music and Amazon Music, is connected strongly with bundle subscription mode. So you have in your subscription not only music, but also different services by this company, and it makes difficult to identify literal price for the music service as it. So when we talk about Spotify in this perception map, it has one of the highest personalization rate and average price. And it's quite good position for them. So if we talk about Apple Music, they have a pretty average price, but not so good adjustment to recommend in terms of recommendation in comparison to Spotify. Deezer is a more local European platform, but it's also available in Russia, for example. It's not so popular because their recommendations are more focused on your artist preferences, and they don't have any unique offer in terms of price. If we talk about Amazon Music, they have pretty low price because of because it includes different products that includes in Spotify, in Amazon system. And also they don't have any specific personalization of content, but here works their price system, and that's why they're quite popular. And Pandora Music is also the case. They have a lower price than average, but pretty good recommendations mode. Also, when we talk about Spotify, we should highlight the fact that they have a free mode that's available for everyone, and it is pretty good and creates additional value to their product, to their platform. So that's all about SCP analysis of Spotify. I am ready to your questions. Thank you for listening.
Okay, good. Thank you. Tinkoff team and Skillbox, please. Let's get started in this order. Tinkoff, you will be the first one.
Yeah, there is a case that Spotify, for their personalization and recommendation, use data only about your streaming preferences, like your likes of different albums by artists, your likes of artists, and song strengths, and so on, and your personal playlists that you follow. So it's not that essential data, and of course, any user who start to use Spotify should sign the agreement about using of personal data, where they try to consider all factors about this using of personal data. But like dangerous cases is connected with personal information that that absorbs through subscription payment, and they had cases of losing this data. This data was stolen. As far as I remember, it was in 2015. They couldn't solve case immediately. It's impossible, and if data stolen, but they give pretty good evidence that they will try to avoid the situation in the future. They try to introduce new system of safety. They observes different companies with that connected with such algorithms. It's kind of impossible to avoid this risk at 100%, but they're trying. And to create the perception that they use observed data in only like for users' enjoyment, they create this data campaigns that highlights how they see their users through their preferences. So something like that. I hope I answered your questions. If you need more details, I will give it.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. And the second question is, as we saw in the precipitation map, the Spotify has a low price. Can it, thanks to such high personalization, increase the price of a subscription without losing customers?
May you repeat your question?
Yes. Can it increase the price of a subscription without losing customers, thanks to such high personalization? I
understand. Now I understand what you mean. So, firstly, they don't have like low price. They have average price on the market. But it's like really hard to talk about price in terms of music services because different companies has different situation in terms of products that include in price. As I already said, Spotify has like only music services as their product. No, with podcasts also, but it's not such big offer in comparing with Amazon Music, for example. So I'm not sure that they can increase price. They more about increasing customers and increase country that they stream, that they can like provide streaming system. Because price is pretty reasonable based on the situation on the local market. Like different markets has different price, and they try to adapt them to the local offers. So I don't think that they can do it.
Okay, I agree with you. And our last question is, what do you think is the closest competitors to Spotify that you have presented in the precipitation map, and why?
The question is in the chat.
So the main competitors of Spotify, because it's global platform, it's also two global platforms. So it's Amazon Music and Apple Music. But if we talk about Russia, situation is kind of changed, and it's like changed from country to country. But in global talk, we can say it's Apple Music because it has pretty same price, and it's pretty popular because of support of like global brand and their convenience for users of iOS and different Apple systems. And when we talk about Amazon, it's the same situation. Like if you use the services by other services by Amazon, you will, with high probability, use Amazon Music instead of other streaming services. When I put it on the perception map, Pandora and Deezer, I did it more for variety, less as they are really serious competitors of Spotify. Maybe Pandora in America, in the United States, is a serious competitor for Spotify, but not Deezer. So, kind of like that.
Thanks a lot.
So that's all for Tinkoff questions.
Good, thank you very much, Skillbox. Your question, please.
Yes, hello, thank you for your presentation. And our first question is, describe the avatar of a representative of your target audience. What does he do? How old is he? What is he interested in? And what kind of education? And maybe you can describe some other points.
It's really a big question. Spotify is a music streaming platform, and it doesn't have specific one customer that we can summarize. So if we would create avatars for Spotify customers, it would be really wide range of people. So if we would arrange
maybe
it on...
maybe you could, maybe you could describe any specific group of audience that is suitable only for Spotify, and other platforms are not concentrated on this group. Maybe there is some type of audience that fits well only for this platform, or there isn't. It's the position two, it's the point two. So just maybe in a few words, maybe there is any specific audience for a particular platform.
I would say that, okay, Spotify, if we would like base our thinking on their advertisement campaigns that like the biggest, we would say that their most targeted audience is young people. Because we can see they're applying to a specific playlist connected with pop music and some kind of romantic lyrics and so on. It would be someone between millennials and Gen Z. So it's pretty wide range of people younger than 35 and so also we can say that it's pretty organized people who are ready to works with their playlist and they like have a passion for created unique music atmosphere for themselves, because they have pretty friendly subscription offer for students. We can say that it may be specifically student, and also it would be millennial who interested in the podcasts. They have a pretty good library. They try to connect it with pretty interesting podcasts that go viral on the internet, as podcasts of Joe Rogan and so on. So young people who are passionate about what they listen, something like that.
Thank you. And our next question is how does the company position itself? What it wants that people think about this company?
If we go to the Spotify websites as a Spotify community or just Spotify, and we will read about what they write about themselves, it would be focused on personalization, like soundtrack to your life, soundtrack to everyone, music for you. So they try to focus that they provide a unique place for someone for whom they apply. And they also try to state that they support local and indie artists that don't have so big audience. So I think something like that.
Okay, thank you. And our last question, what type of targeting does Spotify use? And what do you think is the most successful model for this company?
What do you mean by type of targeting? Maybe we had presentations. So.
Okay, maybe I just didn't hear this. Then I'm sorry. I mean, like, is it undifferentiated targeting or another types that were?
Yes, because it's music services. It doesn't create any restriction borders or like conditions for their audience. May you?
Okay.
The second part of your question, please. May you repeat it?
What do you think is the most successful model for this company? But I think it's.
Yeah, as well as I highlight, they try to apply long-term strategies in kind of to attract younger people, students by they created system and low price to create loyal customers that would advocate them in the future. So, and they don't have any long-term strategy marketing campaign when we talk about content plans, so they adjust them to trends and try to follow them. So it's more about really active and young audience.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
That question?
Okay, good. Thank you. Please find in our chat the next team that should share the screen and start the presentation. And during their going to start, I will try to pay necessary attention to the strategy, to the segment of the Spotify. As the team said, I absolutely agree with them. The main idea is to make the product individual, to use any machine learning algorithms to provide the best choice for each user of each member. Of course, we are not sure that this artificial intelligence or machine learning works, that there is any specific algorithms that works. We are not sure because it's inside this app. And this is the secret that is not so clear for us, but it makes the image of the company as a very modern and technological company, and it's very important for the audience that are looking for technology products, that are looking for all the modern utilities and tools to make our life better, to make our life easier. And so the segment is very clear and particular, modern audience that are concentrated on the modern tools and looking for specific and useful applications and useful tools to be more flexible. And of course, all the political issues and etc. are not important for them, only technologies and products. So this segment is, as I said, very particular. Thank you. You have shown it in your presentation, and I absolutely agree with you on this point. So we're going to the second presentation of Aviasales. Please, you're welcome. So let's get started.
So good afternoon. Today we want to introduce the next part of our presentation about Aviasales. So today the STP marketing model is a familiar strategic approach in modern marketing. It is one of the most commonly applied marketing models in practice, with marketing leaders crediting it for efficient, streamlined communications practice. Next one, please. So segmentation is a process of dividing customers into groups of people with common characteristics and needs. This allows to tailor the approach to meet each group's needs cost effectively. And this gives a huge advantage over competitors who use a one-size-fits-all approach. It's possible to mention several types of segmentation. So high segmentation efficiency is achieved if the segments have certain properties. Measurability, that shows how development purchasing power of segment can be measured. Availability, which determines to what extent the segment can be served. And profitability, that is the attractiveness of the segment. And so geographical segmentation involves the separation of citizens by region of residence, the size of the settlement. Socio-demographic segmentation, it divides the population by gender, age, marital status, income level, social class, family life cycle, and so on. Psychological segmentation highlights such characteristics as the reason for making a purchase, the status of the user of the services, the intensity of the use, the attitude to the product. It's also necessary to divide customers by benefits they seek from the product. Let's analyze Aviasales according to this classification. So the first one is, as they said, geographic. So here, commonly, almost all users of Aviasales, they are from Russia and the post-Soviet countries. Here's the list of these countries presented. Next one is socio-demographic segmentation. Usually the people who use Aviasales, they're under the age of 25 or 25 to 31 and to 31 and 45 years old. So usually there are people who earn enough money and who can allow themselves to travel. So usually their occupation is entrepreneurship, or they can work as employee, or soldier, student, top manager, etc. So the occupation is varied. So next one is the client gender, both male and female use it. Income level per month. So it also varies. It can be less than 15,000 rubles and more than 50,000 rubles. About social status, this could be people both married and single. Social class, it also includes all categories. And regarding family life cycle, it also includes different status of the person, from independent to retire from a career. Next one is psychological. Most of people, they aim to arrange a trip for themselves. It could be business trip, vacation, study, or work. For these purposes, they are looking for tickets. And the frequency of trips per year, it also differs. It could be less than one time annually, and it could happen every week for work. Always. Here's the service class and availability of additional services. And about benefits of segmentation. So it includes low prices, quick search, wide variety, and high quality of service. And next one, please.
The second part of the STP model is targeting. This refers to determining which, if any, of the segments uncovered should be targeted and made the focus of a comprehensive marketing program. We decided to start from making SWOT analysis of Aviasales. SWOT analysis can be a useful strategy tool to help the company think about the opportunities and threats that might affect each segment market. Here you can see the scheme of SWOT analysis. The first one is strength. The company has united 15 agencies in its search, which gives the user the opportunity to really choose and compare the price of any air ticket We pay special attention to controlling this price. Currently, not all search engines can provide this accuracy. Often, when moving to an engine, the cost rises and sometimes significantly. Aviasales guarantee that the price in their search is final. The second one is a flexible company with up-to-date changes. Aviasales has released an update in its application that shows the rules of entry and the presence of COVID restrictions in different countries. Information is updated in real time. It appears in the application as soon as it is announced by the official departments of the countries, relevant ministries, and embassies. For weaknesses, there are several. Controversial opinions on aggressive promotion. Practically no differences from competitors. Outdated design that has not changed for several years. Insufficient number of filters searching for tickets, and a small share of the foreign market. As for opportunities, the first one that the company uses real-time PR technology, a prompt response to the current agenda. The influence of real-time posts on the increase in the number of users involved in spontaneous discussion have been proven. Posts published on the official pages were distributed among the people through reposts, which were often accompanied by heated discussions about the company's methods. A direct relationship was recorded between the activity of users in social media and the growth in the share of traffic to the Aviasales.ru, a resource from social networks. The second one is increasing demand for air transportation in the world. In this case, people will use Aviasales more more for different needs. The third one is creating the additional agreements with other airlines. As for threats, the COVID pandemic, competition from Western flight search engines, low purchasing power of the population, seasonality of demand, geopolitical instability, and the last one is the imposition of sanctions on air travel.
The next slide, please. We guess that Aviasales applies the strategy of multi-segment targeting for selecting target markets. It means choosing two or more well-defined market segments and developing a distinct market mix for each. We identified three main segments of Aviasales targeting. The main segment of which Aviasales should focus its attention and try to keep in touch with it. These are employees who use this platform to buy tickets for business flights. The company provides a wide range of accommodation options and flexible filters, helps reduce travel costs, provides a business trip report function, which can then be transferred to management in order to control the money spent. Thus, Aviasales has a wide base of customers in the form of employees interested in the services provided. Another very important segment is students whose key goal is to save as much money as possible on buying tickets, as most of them actively use air travel to get home from their place of study or from place of study to home. In addition, many students prefer studying abroad. Aware of the importance of the segment, Aviasales actively cooperates with bloggers and YouTube channels to attract audience from 18 to 25 years old. The final but no less important segment is families that want to reduce the cost of flight and spend this money on holiday. Considering the statistics, we can conclude that most often families of 3 or more people are chosen for vacation about 1 to 2 times a year. These families are focused on buying cheap tickets, and Aviasales positions itself as the best cheap ticket search engine, which means that this market segment is attractive to the company. A quality product, good service, expert contact, constant contact with the client are all the right ways to retain old ones and attract new customers.
Next one is the positioning of Aviasales in the market. And positioning is the act of designing the company's that it occupies a meaningful and distinctive competitive position in the target consumer's mind. Positioning implies that consumers compare products on the basis of important features. So let's turn to the statistic to understand that what position Aviasales implies in their market. data on here we have two graphs. First one is this is the top countries that use Aviasales, and here we can highlight that Aviasales is very well known Russia market, and this is the position of Aviasales where they can achieve competitive advantage because of preferences of consumers in Russia. Next, the next bar chart shows that the Aviasales has chosen among Russian consumers, and this is their responses to the question which of these providers have you booked flight from the past 12 months, and we see that Aviasales has 33% of respondents answer. Next, please. Next slide. Okay, let's analyze Aviasales according to the position by answering 3 questions. And what is the feature which differ the Aviasales? How profitable which for the meta search engine Aviasales than on airlines website? It means that it's find the ticket the one platform where you can offer where consumers can see different tickets from countries from different airlines. For example, there are 728 airlines around the world which work with the Aviasales, and is a big opportunity to use Aviasales not the sites of their airlines. And the speciality of Aviasales is that they have, as I have mentioned, 128 airlines, 15 major online agencies, and 5 booking systems. And here, a meta search doesn't sell plane tickets, only analyze the prices that then redirects the visitors to the airline's website or booking system to purchase the appropriate. And the unique of this brand is Aviasales double checks prices by making a new request to partners every time they try to find the market price, and they try to find the middle of this price in the market and offer prices which will be competitive in this market. According to the similar web, Aviasales is the largest meta search engine for airline tickets. Next slide, please. It's a lecture. We discussed that it is possible to mention 3 types of positioning. They are functional, symbolic, and expressive. And from this point of view, as for Aviasales, we think that functional positioning is most suitable variant of this classification. There are some reasons for our option. Firstly, thanks for Aviasales, the clients can solve several problems at once. For example, find the suitable from point to A to B and book a hotel or Aviasales gives the opportunity to solve the problems in one digital space online. So here we can see that Aviasales the most profitable positioning concept is leadership. When the company calls itself number one in a niche in the Russia market, this positioning is an effective tool that contributes to the fact that the brand penetrates into the consumer's consciousness and forms a stable image. Next colleague.
In conclusion, we want to stress that the STP model is an effective tool for every company. As a marketing strategy, it plays an important role in matching the company's products with the right customers. Based on the analysis, we think that in the future, Aviasales will gradually expand their market segment of influence, strengthening positioning by expanding functionality, for example, adding new filters, new airline partners. If we analyze the rapid development of the country in recent years, it can be assumed that Aviasales will offer the client the formation of a whole tour, including tickets, hotel, insurance, transfer, and so on. As for positioning, I also want to add that the best way to buy cheap tickets, and this phrase is written on the website of the Aviasales search engine. Thus, the company shows that it provides an opportunity to find the cheapest tickets, also noting that the search engine is the best. On this slide, you may see the list of references that we used preparing our presentation. Thank you for your attention, and now we are ready to answer your questions.
Okay, good. Thank you. Isabel, could you please make something with your connection, because we could hardly listen you. There are any problems with your microphone or maybe with that connection, please maybe add again to this chat, and before you will make it, your colleagues will help you with your answers, and the first team will be Skillbox. Skillbox, please start with the first question.
Yes, we will start. Thank you for presentation. And our first question is, should Aviasales focus on those people who fly frequently and are representatives of their target audience? Or maybe it should focus on the market as a whole?
Could you clarify your question a little bit? And maybe repeat.
You said in your presentation that you have three main audience, and I ask, this audience should be the only audiences that Aviasales should take the action to attract them, or maybe it should attract all market and more people.
Okay, thank you. We take a minute to think.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes.
If it's clear, I will answer. So this is a part of the market that is most active and profitable. But the OSLs is trying to attract new consumers by conducting special marketing plans and strategies. says that it doesn't exclude these people who are very active in traveling. They will, of course, try to keep their attention, their hand on this.
I'm sorry, but your sound is low quality.
Yes, Back, you still have any problems? Please try to connect to this chat again, or maybe there are any problems with your. No. Dear colleagues, could you help Selbeck to answer this question while he is reconnecting?
Of course, I will add this answer. As we have already said, Aviasales applies the strategy of multi-segment targeting for selected target markets. It means choosing two or more well-defined market segments and developing a distinct market mix for each. We think that markets that we mentioned are the most active and profitable, but Aviasales is also trying to attract new customers by conducting special marketing and promotion.
Thank you. It was clear.
So the next question is, what pains does Aviasales target audience have, and how does the company solve them?
May you please write your question in chat or repeat?
Yes, I will repeat and write it in the chat. What pains does Aviasales target audience have, and how does the company solve them? 1 second, I will write it.
Okay, thank you for your question. We think that to solve problems, Aviasales expand the functionality of its website and app. So, for example, Aviasales has released an update in its application that shows the rules of entry and the presence of COVID restrictions in different countries. So Aviasales tries to be very flexible and expand the functionality for solving clients' problems.
Good, it's enough. And the last question, please.
And the last question is, as I remember, in your SWOT analysis, you said that one of the company's weaknesses it is low overseas market share. And my question is, what does Aviasales need to do to enter new overseas markets?
I will try to answer your question. I think that there are a lot of opportunities for Aviasales that can help to expand the segment in foreign countries. For example, Aviasales may increase its positioning in foreign markets, also add new partners such as airlines and something like that, and also to expand functionality and add new functions. Also, it is really important to cooperate more with foreign airlines. It's strongly important.
Yes, I get it. Спасибо.
Okay, thank you. As for the first question, I will just add that we need to divide the segment of travelers who are used to travel a lot, because sometimes they buy tickets by themselves, but generally tickets are provided by the companies or by the firms, by the jobs. And of course, this is the B2B segment. This is an absolutely other type of segment and audience, and there are absolutely different rules to work with them. We need to support the financial department in all the issues, to provide all the necessary documents, to be flexible for each customer, and etc. So I agree with your definition of three segments, but I will just add that we need to divide the segments of travelers who used to travel a lot by B2C and B2B segment, and there are absolutely different targeting and absolutely different marketing and all for those segments. Okay, thank you. And the Spotify team, please repeat your questions.
First question is, are there any differences in the sales approaches to different geographical segments of their audience? You mentioned several. Should I repeat my question or type it or explain it like?
Type it, please. Okay, let me to answer. Do you hear me well?
Yes, now your audio is clear.
Okay, if it's not clear, please let me know. Okay, of course, they try to differentiate their service depending on the geographical location, and based on this, they are offering different aviasales company based on their location, on their popularity in these geographical places. And of course the advertising system is completely different. For example, they have completely different advertising system in Central Asia, in Russia, because the consumers nature is different in these regions, and they try to adapt their advertising based on the perception of the consumers in these places, and try to construct something which will be well meted by consumers in certain places.
Okay, but what's particular differences? We understood that there are different approaches, but what's our particular things that are implemented in different regions?
Okay, for example, in Central Asia, they are offering only mostly the airlines from these countries. For example, from Kazakhstan, from Uzbekistan, Uzbek Airlines. While in Russia, maybe in St. Petersburg, they try to offer the local airlines or the Turkish Airlines, and they know that the prices for Turkish Airlines significantly high for countries for countries in Central Asia. However, they try to offer these tickets too from Turkish Airlines, but it's not common as the local airlines in Central Asia. This is I think, the obvious example.
Okay, we got it. Thank you. The next question, please.
Thank you for your answer. So there was like some controversy about what you said. In the SWOT analysis, you said that in weaknesses, you state filters of Spotify that has some limitations. And on the next slide, when you talk about targeting, you said that filters of Spotify, of Aviasales is like strengths that will attract customer. It's flexible, as you said. So may you clarify what you think about it? Like it was different statements and different slides about this topic.
We mentioned on our slides that there are not too much or insufficient number of filters. However, they have well fixed and well constructed filters that work proper and increases the profit of Aviasales. And I think this is clear that filters will help, and it is helping to Aviasales, but it would be better to have more filters that can be adjusted by a certain target audience, or by some geographical locations, or by other features of certain consumers.
So they like technically strong, but not flexible because
diversified.
the range is not wide.
Yes, they technically strong, but maybe
Thank
they
you
are
for
not
this
diversified.
clarification.
Maybe they have mentioned about this on their reports.
So they couldn't be called flexible, as I understand.
No, I mean the flexibility of the company does not defined by the filter. And,
Okay, and
filter, it's a tool of offering the service, and in any places they can improve it. But the number of filters, for example, they have the services like renting hotel or renting a car. Maybe in this sphere they have some drawbacks with filters, and maybe they mentioned that these kind of weaknesses of the company.
Okay, and also you've mentioned that it's like third question. Also, you mentioned that they have a double check system for price of tickets that they present to customer. So how they can prove the uniqueness of this feature of their double checks?
Oh,
you
okay.
mentioned a unique feature this point, so how they can prove it, if they can?
Okay, 1 second, please. Okay, this is a technical question. So the platform, the process of working of booking platform, is certain that when the consumer try to find the ticket for the flight, for example, tomorrow, St. Petersburg and Turkey, now I have for example, for 35 or 30,000 something, yes, and I have changed my mind, and I have decided to travel not tomorrow, and I'm going to travel on Friday or on next week on Friday, and there is a question, and the prices of airlines of tickets are not fixed on Aviasales platform. Every single time when consumers uh, try to book the ticket or try to click on this click the button, the platform asks the question of these airlines: what is the price of the ticket? And the airlines gives the price of the ticket, and after this, Aviasales offer the price of ticket to consumer. So this is the feature of them. They don't have predefined prices. They are online, linked to the airlines, where they ask prices in online. Is it clear or not?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you. I'm not sure that it works really this way, because you need to understand that, for example, Aviasales doesn't work directly with airline companies, because there is the specific aggregators that have all the information about the flights, and of course, every time when you ask something in the searching in Aviasales or Skyscanner, for example, they ask their aggregators to find the tickets, and they ask for airlines directly, and double checked, as I got it, is the system when the Aviasales checked not only the price when the company shown, but an additional cost that company will add on the final stage of booking process, because it's absolutely usual situation when the first price will be increased by the additional payments that you will find only on the last stage of your reservation. So the double checked is, I guess, I'm not sure, but double checked is about this double checking all the additional costs.
Yes,
Okay.
I would like to mention these things, but in a more simpler way, and this is the same thing which I would like to mention.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your answers. I just would like to say that as I got, Aviasales has not as powered search engine as, for example, Skyscanner or someone else, because there isn't such an opportunity when I could find tickets between not only airports, between countries. For example, if you're looking for the ticket from any small country, for example, the Baltic countries or etc., it doesn't matter the particular airport, and if you are looking for those tickets by the Aviasales, you will need to find all the airports directly and find all the possible ways and find the cheapest flight. But if you are looking for the same travel by the Skyscanner, you will need to find the correlations between countries, for example, between Estonia and Germany or etc. So it means that Skyscanner will have more offers available for each aggregator, for each company. I guess it's so, but I'm not sure. I will check this issue because it's really interesting how it works. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Now we will have a short break for 15 minutes. See you again in 11:10. And the next presentation will be by Tinkoff team. Please, you have 15 minutes to share the screen and to prepare your presentation. Now we have a short break. See you again in 11:10.
Okay, thank you.